Stop. Before you start purchasing on Whatnot, watch this video all the way through to the end. Otherwise, you're gonna explode. Just kidding. All right, but I did want to share with you my journey through Whatnot, buying and trying to start collecting for vintage video games. Believe me when I say that the Whatnot platform extends well beyond vintage video games. And if you want to start a side hustle in this space, you're going to want to stay tuned and watch this video. All right, come on, let's go. Hey, what are you still doing there? Come on, let's go. Stop it. Stop. I told you stop. Come on, let's go. All right, so all joking aside, yes, if you want to start selling on Whatnot, I'd like to share my experiences with you, because what started off as just like this novelty, I'm gonna start picking up some vintage video games to help me from like a nostalgia standpoint. I've been wanting to for the last couple of years, actually. What started off as that small little thing turned into, you know, spending over $1,000 in a week. So there's definitely some really good programmed pieces of this and some addictive pieces to look out for. So anyways, what I wanted to do is go through the entire thing that I experienced, and then also too share with you the giveaway and how we were planning on doing a giveaway through the holidays. So part of this like whole thing, like I just realized like, hey, you know what, like a lot of this stuff I don't really care about. I kind of got like lost in the sauce, lost in the moment. So I just decided, hey, we're gonna give it away. Anyways, that's part of the giveaways. We'll talk more about that towards the end of the video. Let's dive in now though. So whatnot.com is a great platform. The reason why it's a great platform and the reason why it's been so successful is because it disrupted eBay. And eBay is not that great. There's all kinds of fraud that happens on eBay. You'll get photos of one thing, they send another. They send broken carts, they use sleight of hand and sleight of camera angle to look up a box or look down a box to hide wear and tear on the box. I mean, all kinds of trickery, right? So eBay is really a place that's like rifled with overpricing from scalpers, from video game consoles all the way on down to vintage video games. I'm sure this exists in every single market, and so on and so forth. So it was ready for that, right? And then Whatnot kind of just comes out of nowhere and offer you to do these live auctions and run them as long as you want. You can run them for 15 seconds at the low end, and I think you can do like a 5 or 10 minute at the high end. So it fits regardless of how long you want to do a show. So it's based on a show that you go into, like you go into this room, you go into this show that this person is running, and they're just running back-to-back auctions. Some of them run really fast auctions, some of them run really slow auctions, and it's really just like choose your own experience. So I'm talking a lot about vintage video games, and I will be in this video, but you can also, if you're into cards and collectibles that way, if you're into toys, Magic the Gathering, I mean, DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS, like I said, toys, like pretty much anything you can think of. Vinyl records are now being sold on this platform, and I think it's only gonna grow from here. Like the category that I'm seeing on the side, it's getting bigger and bigger every time I log in. Like, look, there's sneakers and streetwear, there's comics, like I said, action figures, jewelry now, bags, accessories, vintage and thrift clothing. So there's something for everyone. And I like this because it's definitely a lot faster than what you're used to, right? Usually you have to like wait around, and then like getting used to how an eBay auction works, where you kind of put in your final price, and then if somebody goes above that, then they're gonna win regardless, like, and you might lose out, and it's simply because you're not getting notified in time, you got to babysit the auction page. Well, this is a little bit different. It's just dollar for dollar, or you can set in a custom bid, and it just goes back and forth in the entire room. Everyone in the room can bid on it, so you can see to where like sheer insanity can break out, and people can really upbid stuff that maybe isn't worth it, right? Let's talk about some of the mistakes that I made with the platform. I thought I had a pretty clear plan. My original plan, like I shared, was spend maybe $200 a month, and we're gonna slowly start to pick up. I wanted to start vintage. N64 is what I grew up with. I'm an 80s kid. I absolutely love that console. I have so many fond memories of me and my brother playing GoldenEye, Rush throughout the night and getting into trouble and not being able to stay awake in school the next day, trying to find all the secrets, trying to beat, GoldenEye at every single difficulty level and stuff like that. Duke Nukem was another huge one that we played, oh my God, for so long. And it was just like so amazing when that first came out. I have so many fond memories of that. So it started off with, yeah, let's build that. And then I was like, Super Nintendo, yeah, those are okay too. I think we started with Super Nintendo, got N64, then got Sega Genesis. We got into the PlayStations, but I don't really care about those. I just wanted to focus on these. knees, right? That's where it started. I thought that was a good enough plan. I thought that was good enough to get started, and boy, oh boy, was I wrong. So let's talk about my background here. I've been wanting to get into vintage video game collecting for years, and I'm traveling and I'm overseas, and it just didn't seem like it was possible, and it didn't seem like it was really worthwhile doing. Maybe it's because I'm bored. I think that's part of it, definitely. Like, I can't trade crypto right now. Crypto market's down, stocks are down, everything's down right now. So it's like, okay, I don't really have anything else to do. So I think that was attractive, as well as I was like finally getting itchy, like, hey man, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. You got to understand, I've now invested hundreds of hours watching 2 YouTube channels, Retro Rick and who's the other one? I'll flash his name on the screen right now, but they're like, Retro Rick is newer, but the other one is OG of video game collecting. And so I just watch that on a regular basis because it's kind of like, I don't know, just my guilty pleasure, right? That is my background. And I thought I had enough experience going into this, but getting down into like, what should this specific game be priced at and what should you be buying this game at? Whew, man, was I off. Now, luckily, the Whatnot community has not been infiltrated yet by a ton of people trying to just take advantage of you, sell you broken stuff, lie to you, like put up an auction for this thing and then send you out that thing. Luckily, that's not the case right now. So I did end up doing really, really well. But I would just say that overall, like, you need to know what the comparable pricing is or comps are and what they've been selling at on both ends. So there's a pricing software. I'll pull it up on the screen right now. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And then there's eBay that you can use as comps. eBay is always going to be dramatically higher than anything else that you can look at. And this, again, what I'm telling you right now in video games correlates to other markets as well. Action figures, comics, Pokemon, any collectible you can think of, right? So anyways, that was kind of some of the mistakes that I made going into it, right? Now, what I wanted to break down is I wanted to actually show you like what I spent, right? And where I spent it. It all happened pretty quick, like in a 7-day period. And that's like downside, I guess, from a consumer standpoint, is because there's always rooms, like you saw, there's over 500 running right now. There's always rooms running and there's always new stuff being shown. And it's like, especially if you feel like you paid too much for a copy, or maybe this copy you got had a worn out label and then you wanted a different copy, you start to get into like pretending like you're DCAing in, like dollar cost averaging, like you would with crypto. At least I did. That's what you'd normally do with trading. That all started kind of kicking in before time's up. I mean, we went from, this is in September 22nd through the 30th, I had spent $1,018, including shipping. That's the last thing I want to touch on, is that shipping, you got to pay attention to what you're paying for shipping. So usually the first thing that you're buying, video game wise, is going to be $5. If somebody doesn't know what they're doing, or maybe they just haven't changed it, it might be $6, $5.50 or $6. But understand, every time you purchase something after that, it should be cheaper. Some of them are 50 cents, sometimes $1.50. If you start stacking like 5, 6, 10 things, they'll go up to like $2.50 at the maximum. But you're getting charged a shipping and handling on every single transaction. Because you can see down here at the bottom, right? I only spent $735 on video games, but I spent just about $300 on shipping. So just keep that in mind. $300 in shipping is astronomical. All that being said, my average cost shipped per piece that I bought, minus I bought 3 consoles, was $9.32 each. Not horrible. But again, if you're on the ground, right? If you're in the United States right now, I think you're gonna have a better result going thrifting. It'd probably be funner too if you've got the time. Going thrifting, going to Goodwills, things like that. If you've got access to flea shops, etc., you'll probably do better in terms of your price, but you're gonna pay for it in terms of your time. Now, a simple thing to do is, if you're getting into this to try and resell, you want to be 2x the price it costs to acquire, including your time, including shipping and handling. That would be ideal. Now, that's not gonna happen on every single purchase, on every single thing, but that's really what you should be shooting for with these pieces, right?
I described how Wata and Heritage colluded to artificially create a speculative bubble in order to profit from the rising value of sealed video games.
I was not trying to resell this. At one point, it was kind of kicking around, like when this first happened, and I took a step back, because how it all went down is my wife was like, hey man, you're kind of spending a lot of time on Whatnot, you know, how much do you think you spent? And I was like, oh, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's just been like a couple $100. Because again, $2 here, $3 here, $5 here, but then you add in shipping and then, etc. I'm going into like 5, 6, 10 auctions in a day. And you can see like some of my busier days, let's call it. I mean, I was like really moving and grooving. I said, okay, to put her doubts at ease and to like, show that I didn't go like off the deep end or nothing, like I'll just throw this into a spreadsheet. And then I was like, holy cow, you spent $1,000 in a week. That's nothing to scuff at. That's part of what we're gonna do with the giveaways. I'm gonna give away all the stuff that I didn't want. So if we're looking through the list, look at how few N64 things there are, Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and look at how much just other stuff there is. So I don't know, maybe that's just me and it got me, or maybe everybody experiences that. I don't know, comment below. But it was definitely a phenomenal little side experiment to run on myself to see human psyche and human behavior. So anyways, that's the spending and the breakdown of everything. Now, don't worry, I've gone on to spend probably another 1,000 or two. Now collecting the things that I really did want to collect. And again, I don't know why, but at super rapid pace. So here we are, right? If nothing else, hopefully this is like good for you in terms of like somebody's doing it way worse than you, and I'll gladly wear that hat and play that role. Thank you so much. So where I want to leave you now is, let's talk about the giveaway and let's talk about how I wanted to give back. Is when I did this, is I was just like, well, what do I do with all these games? I was like, okay, maybe I'll bundle it up and do like a big giveaway on a channel, because we're getting close to 10,000 subscribers, and I've been wanting to do something for the channel because this has all been you guys, right? Not me at all. So I just make the videos and you guys show up and watch it and share it and do all the other crazy stuff that's made it be successful, right? I was like, okay, I'll just do like one big giveaway. And I was like, I think there's enough here. Like, you know, let's break it down into little pieces. And also too, like if I sell it in one big block, or not sell it, but give it away in one big block, I think somebody's just gonna go and try and resell it. I think it'd be cooler actually, personally, if the stuff was being played. Had fun with your family during the holidays. And for some people that win this, maybe even this is like the only little piece of light that they might have during this holiday season. And that to me is really cool. So that is what I was going for. So anyways, let me kind of break this down. We're gonna do a giveaway starting with this video. I'm gonna pick a random comment on this video. You can say whatever you want, doesn't matter. Jay, you're an idiot. Oh my God, this is the worst video I've ever seen. I don't care. I'm gonna like use a YouTube comment picker, and I'm gonna select the winner, and I'm gonna attempt to reach out to you. I'm gonna give that like 24 hours, and I'm picking another one again, reaching out to them, and we'll just keep rolling down the list until somebody answers, somebody says yes, and I can get a hold of somebody. Now I know that this isn't the best way to do it, but outside of that, like my only other options are to like run it on Gleam.io or some other platform, and I don't want to do that because it's just making something that should be simple, me giving some stuff away and having some fun, and making it difficult. So hopefully you agree. That's how we're going to do it. So the first bundle is going to be a PS3 bundle. So it's going to have a PS3 console and all the games that I bought. Then the second week, right, which will be another video dropping next week. Next week's video, I'll announce the winner from this one, and then I will talk about the next one. But the next one will be a PS1 bundle, I think, because I got that and a bunch of games. I think there's over 20 games for that one. And then I got a ton of sealed stuff. So I think the next one after that will be all the sealed games. That's mostly PS4 and Xbox One. And I think there's a few other oddballs in there. And then I think we're gonna end it with the crescendo and give away a couple Wiis. So I bought a Wii Japanese version and a Wii that's backwards compatible with GameCube. It's got the port in the back and a ton of controllers. And I think there's some games, 4 or 5 games with that too. So I thought that would be cool to give away at the end. You're free to do whatever you want with what I'm giving you. I thought it would be cool to give back, and hopefully by the end of this, I don't know, maybe we can get some other people from the community involved to give back to people that are, you know, in need this holiday season. All I really want to do is promote giving, and I think that's going to be the most important piece out of this. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and my foray into Whatnot. I think it's an absolutely incredible platform. Just be careful with how quick you're spending money and how much money that you're spending, especially if you don't have like the budget like I do to be able to go and make a couple $1,000 mistake and then laugh about it. If you're not in that position, please be careful with this. But that's it. Comment below. That gets you entered to win. I'm going to draw a random comment in next week's video, and then that will be the winner of this first bundle, which will be a PS3 game console and some games to go along with it. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet. Right there. Okay, bye. Hey, you, I told you to stop. Come here, get over here, stop it. All right, enough.